Blogger and author of Culture of Corruption, Obama and his team of tax cheats, crooks, and cronies. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
What's the book about?
I think that you can judge a book by its cover, Matt.
On that particular case, I'll get to that in a second. But President Obama says the Gates situation is a teaching moment. What has he learned, do you think, from this situation, the way he's handled it?
Well, I think he is a racial opportunist, and I think that he has learned that he shouldn't shoot his mouth off when he explicitly admits that he didn't know what happened.
A racial opportunist? He hasn't gotten to where he is today by being a racial opportunist, has he?
I think that he took that moment, used a health care conference that was a debacle, basically, and took this story, which is really just a local parochial law enforcement story, to try and ensure some sort of moment of his racial authenticity. And it backfired because he was wrong, and he should have admitted it. And I think for a president that has offered up hope and change in a new politics, it's just another example. And I wouldn't say that that's an example of corruption, but I think it is. I think it plays into this idea that a man who has hyped himself as something different and something new is nothing but
you conclude all of that based on one mistake he made in terms of a comment he made?
One mistake.
I'm telling you, this comment. This particular comment sets that entire scenario up for you?
I think it's clear that that was a calculated move. Everything that this president does is kabuki theater.
You think this was a planned question and answer?
Absolutely do.
And the way he handled it and the fallout from it was something he was looking for?
I think that he overestimated the power of his authenticity in America. And it's just another example of a botched failure. And that's what I filled a culture of corruption with.
Sonia Sotomayor was cleared this week by the Senate Judiciary Committee. It was pretty much a party line vote, 13-6. Lindsey Graham was the only Republican voting in her favor.
Yes, no surprises, fait accompli.
After the last election, it was said the Republicans need to broaden the tent. They need to reach out to minorities, reach out to Hispanics. Are those 6 no votes going to hurt Republicans down the road?
No, because they were 6 principled votes against racial preferences and the idea that somehow identity politics has a place in the court of law.
Why do you think Lindsey Graham voted in favor?
I think Lindsey Graham has a history of pandering to this idea that somehow the party should broaden itself for the sake of pandering to diversity.
Let me ask you about your book. In it, I mean, clearly we know by the title where it goes. You take on Michelle Obama.
I certainly do.
In this book, you call her the first crony.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because she was steeped in the politics of the Daley machine. Her father was a patronage appointee of Daley. She's beholden to the type of hardball politics that Barack Obama says he is against. Her entire professional career was based on nepotism, and now she has brought almost every...
Wait. That's a very broad comment. Her entire professional career...
That's right. Read Chapter 2, and you will find that despite her Princeton thesis where she whined and moaned about the old boy network and how she couldn't get ahead because of her skin color, in fact is a farce because it was one of those old white boys who put her in that position in the first place. And now this team of Chicago cronies, Susan Scherr, Valerie Jarrett, David Axelrod, and a lot of these bundlers that Obama had condemned are now installed in both the West Wing and the East Wing. They're ruining our economy, and I think that the book shatters the entire era of hope and change. Now, he helped kill it in a 6-month period, but we've documented it very clearly. Every inch of this administration is rife with corruption and cronyism, and it's about time they look in the mirror and admit it.
A lot of comments there. This is Today on NBC. We'll be back.